Welcome to another edition of Dream Firm Spotlight. My name is Tyler S. Clark, co-founder of Dream Firms, where we create generational wealth and impact for entrepreneurial accountants by systemizing how they attract, win, and retain the business of their dream clients. And to help you to do just that, I'd like to share with you the 3 risks your accounting firm cannot ignore. So this one's going to be short, sweet, and to the point. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. Number 1, cybersecurity. We live in the digital age right now. And so if you can remember your password right now, because it's the same password you've used since you created an AOL.com account, that's a problem. I don't know how else to say it other than that's a problem. I don't really know. I can't remember a single password that I have because they're all encrypted passwords. I was looking this up earlier today because I never want to give you guys faulty information. This was surprising to me. Do you know what the minimum character length is for a secure password in today's environment? It used to be 8. It's 14 now. 14 characters. So if you know your passwords are shorter than 14 characters long, and I know it's annoying, uppercase, lowercase, an exclamation point, not an exclamation point, a character, not a character, whatever they call those things, a number. I know they're complicated on purpose to keep you secure. So again, first layer of this is let's just make sure we have secure passwords all across the board. There's a lot of great softwares out there that can help with this. Bitwarden, LastPass, and there's a few other ones. But be careful with those. Be careful with those. Some of them like to give the illusion of security, but you have to be very careful about that primary password and make sure that even that itself is an encrypted password. So again, just keep in mind, you want to make sure that that is something that you have at the forefront of your business. It should not be secondary. But there's another aspect of this for cybersecurity, and we're still only on the first risk here. Not only do you need to protect your passwords, you should not be accepting the liability of a client sharing a password with you. I am always blown away when someone says, oh, I have my client's bank account login information. I go, you have what now? I feel like you're like walking around with a nuclear weapon in your hands and it's armed. It's like, no, do not pick that up. Do not carry that around with you. That is such a bad idea for so many reasons. If anything goes wrong, they're going to point to you. You do not want that risk. It is not worth having. You cannot ignore it. If they have the wrong bank, right? Set the rule, set the tone, set what is acceptable, what is unacceptable. It's unacceptable to use a bank that does not have some level of accountant access to your bank statements. Or don't be lazy, dear entrepreneur. Download the statements and send them to me. And if you don't, we're going to wield the stick. We're going to charge you a higher rate because you're a little bit of a pain to deal with. And we can't deliver on our promises to you. No one wants that. Come on now. Finally, on cybersecurity, this is the last one. And I brought this up previously, but I want to hammer it home. I know clients still send some of you information via email. I know it because they are creatures of habits, and we let them perpetuate those habits. We let them keep doing it. They just keep doing it over and over and over. We're like, Don't let them do it. Literally use the same templated email over and over and over again. Email is not a secure medium. I'm going to delete this email. Please use the secure client portal. Here are the instructions on how to access it. You should delete this email as well. This is for your security. We look forward to helping you. You will be amazed how quickly people will do what you want them to do when you stop doing what they want you to do, which is just be like, oh, this is fine. Oh, this is okay. It's not okay. Stop accepting the risk. It's not okay. That's number 1. Okay, this is all cybersecurity related. So be careful about passwords. Be very careful about clients' passwords being shared with you, especially the bank logins, and be very careful about the sending of secure information. Do not let them do it. You are accepting liability when you allow it to happen. Do not let it happen. Okay. Point number 2, about the risks you can't ignore. And this risk is related to the dangers of the basics of economics. So if you've ever taken a basic econ class, the very, very first thing that they will teach you is the law of supply and demand. When there is a lower supply and there is a higher demand, prices go up. And the inverse is true. High supply, low demand, prices go down. Now let's just take this basic principle and apply it to the accounting field. Has demand gone up or gone down? Let me know in the comment section down below. Has demand gone up or down in the last couple of years? Because everything I have seen, demand is skyrocketing. If anything, it's at an all-time high. So then we go, okay, demand is up. And then we go, what is this quiet quitting thing that's going on? Why are all these reports coming out that less and less people are entering the accounting profession for a career? And what are all these other reports that saying it's an aging profession and more people are retiring? And what about that last Dream Firm Spotlight you did, Tyler, where you said that there's a record number of accounting firms being listed for sale? Does that mean potentially the supply is dwindling? Anyone else finding it hard to hire help right now in the accounting space? So the risk here is an external risk. It's not an internal risk that you can necessarily control, but you can still do something about it, right? Cybersecurity, you got full control over that. That's just, quite frankly, don't be lazy. Just follow very simple principles. I already shared them with you. Just follow them. And you're already so far ahead of your average accounting firm in terms of security. Yes, there's a lot more, but get the basics. Basics are free. But this one's a little different. This is a global economic trend that's putting you at risk. But here's where things get exciting for you. The only way to mitigate this risk is to listen to the basic laws of economics and stop fighting them. Stop letting your internal, your meaning-making machine, your brain just say, no, you can't raise your prices. People will leave. Okay, but demand's higher. So where are they going to go? Nowhere. They're going to come back to you most likely. When supply is low and lowering and demand is high and going higher, your prices must directly correlate with that. Period. Not only is demand higher, I would make the argument that not only are more people looking for the service, there's been a surge of entrepreneurship overall, the demands of the clients are larger because the tax code increasingly gets more complex. The software isn't making it easier. If anything, it's making people more confused. And so there's more demand for your direct time. Only one antidote to this, only one way to mitigate this risk. Have enough profit to hire high quality talent despite the fact that there's a shortage of it. It's the only way to mitigate it. Third and final risk. This risk is more of it's another trend that's developed in the market. And I understand why this trend has developed the way it has. Increasingly, people are asking for higher level clients. They're saying, I want CFO. I want high level tax planning. And they're out there. Do not mistake this point with me saying you can't do this successfully. But talk to the people who are getting these types of clients. Talk to the people who are running high-level CFO organizations. The problem that I just raised before this gets compounded the higher the level of service you deliver, because the biggest problem is you're the bottleneck. The biggest risk is you're the bottleneck. And if you're the only one that can sell tax plans and deliver on tax plans, if you're the only one that can deliver the CFO service, well, all of a sudden you find out how quickly you go from having one boss, if you're launching your firm, to now all of a sudden it feels like you've got 7 bosses or 10 bosses because they all feel like that they should control that time of yours because you've sold them at a higher level service and you made the promise of your own time to be able to deliver on that promise. So the third risk is simple scales, complex fails. It's one of my favorite expressions. That's not to say you can't have that level of client. You absolutely can. But if you've got ambitious growth goals, be very real about what it's going to take to reach those growth goals with a model that involves complexity to service a higher level of client. It requires more complexity. It requires much more advanced training protocols. It requires a much higher level of person to be in your office, which requires a much higher level of salary, which is oftentimes hard to justify until you have double the amount of workload that you yourself can currently manage. And now all of a sudden we go, this is really difficult. But imagine a slightly different path where you have, again, less risk, higher upside, where it's more simple. You have, and I love this example. One of my father's clients said this to me when I was at his seminar. It must have been over a decade ago. It was so smart. And he said, Tyler, I have these large clients, and I think of them almost like they're like big boulders in this big glass. And then what my father's firm, not necessarily what we provide, but what my father's firm provided was help diversifying that risk by pouring in a lot of sand or pebbles and all these smaller clients, so that even if one big client left, the boulder didn't come down and crash and smash and destroy the whole firm, because there's a lot of risk in having all that revenue tied up in a single client. I have a lot of clients that reach out to me and they go, I just lost 40% of my revenue from one client. I go, 40%? That's a risk you cannot ignore. So make sure you've got that easy delegatable package that the average small to mid-sized business owner in your target market is going to need. Make sure you sell them that. Don't just say, well, if you're not spending at least, $2,500, $5K a month, if you're not buying a 10K tax plan, despite the fact you're only making $70,000 a year in income, you can't be a client, because all that work is dependent upon you. It's not delegatable. But when you have that, now you've got a nice profit base. Now, all of a sudden, you don't need to double your workload on CFO and tax planning in order to be able to have the profits you need to bring on another person at that high level salary range that can offer those CFO services, and you can grow that book of business as well. And you see that these things have interplay between each other. And guess what? Those small clients, maybe only worth a couple $100 a month right now, all of a sudden, what do they grow into? They grow into a more complex business that needs more complex needs. But now you actually have the revenue and the profitability to support their growth, because you have been smart about how you mitigate your risk and grow your firm. So those are the 3 risks from a very high level summary. Be very careful about cybersecurity. Follow very basic principles. They are free to implement, and they will cost you a lot more in the future if you choose to ignore them. This is the definition of an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Number 2, make sure that you are aware of the basics of economics, supply and demand. There are less high quality people like you that are capable of delivering high quality accounting services. And so when we know the demand's higher and there's less like you, prices must go up in order to deal with this issue. And the third and final one is simple scales, complex fails. Make sure that your business model encompasses simplicity if you would like to get to the next level, because complexity will always keep you stuck where you are. My name is Tyler S. Clark. Thank you so much for your most precious time. Remember that only you can create your dream firm, but we are here to help you every single step of the way. If you'd like to learn more about how we can do that, links will be floating around. I'd love to speak to you directly about how we can help you create your dream firm in record time. Have a fantastic rest of your workday, and don't let the 15th turn your hair gray.